with the rear inflow jet that's kind of helped fuel these thunderstorms move so quickly. Now, Grant, the latest update to these severe thunderstorms, they're moving to the east at 65 miles an hour. So we're also watching this little strip. This thunderstorm right here looks like it's really gaining intensity. Some very strong wind on the leading edge of this thunderstorm, now approaching New Madrid, now approaching southern Scott County, Hickman, Fulton County. This severe thunderstorm warning goes until 6:45. Until 6:45, this severe thunderstorm warning is in effect. It does include Sikeston, it does include New Madrid, it includes Dealstadt, it includes Charleston. These thunderstorms can produce damaging wind gusts in excess of 60 to 80 miles an hour, and also large hail. We've had a lot of reports of quarter to golf ball sized hail. So Murray, fair dealing, Mayfield, you're under the warning now, but you're wondering what's going on. You've just got hit hard with a lot of thunderstorms about an hour ago. Looks like we're seeing some more wind gusts, some severe wind gusts approaching your area. So the Weather Service, a wise decision, not wasting any time. We're under another threat from Murray, Paducah, Mayfield, all the way back toward Arlington and Hickman. So again, a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for western Kentucky and southern Illinois until 7:15 this evening.
Yeah, and this is the type of event that we need to treat. Let's just act like it's a tornado, folks. That means getting in your safe place, basement if you have it. Ride it out in the basement. If you don't have a basement, get to an interior room on the lowest floor of your home. Get to a sturdy shelter. Not only have I seen reports of the roof blown off the theater, which we showed you the picture of, but in that same general area, also roof off of a car wash and some roof damage done to some homes in the area as well. So we have lots of very strong winds. You can see it's about to hit the Doppler radar here in Paducah. You can see that wind is about to go right over the Doppler radar, and I'm sure the Weather Service will be able to sample that. We also had in a 60-mile-per-hour wind gust at the Kentucky Mesonet. That was in Hopkins County and Madisonville. So very strong winds are being reported to the surface. We have had damage with this, significant damage in a few areas, and it looks like that threat will continue as we head throughout the next at least hour and, let's say 10 minutes or so. But we've got a blanket severe thunderstorm warning like BMAC was saying, Brian was saying, and the radar is just not wanting to cooperate with me now, so let's zoom back in here. And the reason they did that is because we've had so many reports of damage, and I know there's parts that are underneath this warning right now that are nowhere near the severe thunderstorm right now. But with that said, you will be impacted. So Murray, Kentucky, you've got a severe thunderstorm off to your south and east, but you're being warned right now for this line that's headed your way. Mayfield, Kentucky, you're being warned for this line that's headed your way. Paducah, it's knocking on your door right now. Fulton and Hickman, it's knocking on your door. This is a storm that caused damage in Dexter, ping pong ball size hail as well. And again, I've been saying, just go ahead and treat this like it is a tornado, because this is extremely strong winds, and every once in a while you can get a brief spin up along this line of storms. And this is going to be moving off to the southeast at 60 to 65 miles per hour. So we're going to put a cell track on, or a storm track on this. So let me pan things out, and I'm going to move it over to the west just a bit so we can kind of get a long track of this Bow Echo that is moving across the area from parts of southern Illinois down into western Kentucky and southeastern Missouri. And we move this off to the east, southeast at 65 miles per hour. And there you go, folks. It's almost completely out of the heartland in an hour. So Murray, Kentucky, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning right now for this line, and the warning goes until 7:15. You can see it looks like you're going to get hit at 7:15. Elizabethtown, 6:46. Princeton, 7:04. Paducah, pretty much the western side of Paducah getting hit right now. The town central area about 6:26, and we're expecting some very strong gusty winds with this line of storms as it moves through the Paducah area here very, very shortly. And once we get through this mess, we've got to deal with another line of storms, it looks like, that's trying to develop out to our west. During that last time that Brian was going over a lot of information for you, I was looking at the Weather Service in Springfield, which is where where our next round of severe weather is coming from, and it doesn't look good. They're getting lots of reports of some strong winds out there as well. So now we've got the winds coming right into the radar, and it's hard to really sample it because it is so close. We have to wait the next couple of frames to get it east of the radar. But you can see there's the strong inflow jet still the back or the rear inflow jet of this Bo Echo that continues to move through the area, and it is very intense. We've seen lots of reports of damage with this line of storms as it moved through southeast Missouri. Thousands of people are without power, and this will continue to race off to the east. And we are continuing, we're going to track this. I'm going to take a look. I'm not going to use the hail scope, and the reason I'm not going to use the hail scope to look for hail is because this line of storms is moving so fast that the hail just can't keep up with it, at least the way the computers register what the hail size is. So I need to look at the correlation coefficient to look for these little mixtures, look for these little spikes, and that's how we know we probably have some hail. Not a lot, but near East Prairie, there's definitely some hail in that storm. That is a very intense storm that is moving into southern Mississippi County right now in southeast Missouri. So let's zoom into that area where the worst of the storms are. You can see to the west of Wolf Island, to the south of East Prairie, near State Highway. Can't see the name of it because East Prairie is right over it. Well, let's going to pan this off to the north and to the west, and you can see right around Highway 102 as well is where we're seeing the chance of seeing some very strong gusty winds and large hail right here near East Prairie. We're not seeing any signs of rotation. Fantastic news. The strongest winds are on the gust front. You can see that purple or that fuchsia right there. That indicates about 70-mile-per-hour winds. But when we change the scope and look at the correlation coefficient, that's when we're seeing the yellows mixing in with the red. That tells us there's some small hail that is more than likely mixing in with that line of storms right near the Wolf Island area that's about to cross the river into moving towards the Clinton, Kentucky area. We're going to be headed towards Fulton and Hickman County. So widespread severe thunderstorm warnings with this Bo Echo. Look at how this is a 3-hour loop. So here's the storm now. 3 hours ago it was west of Rolla. Can you get to Rolla in 3 hours from Paducah? No. This storm is flying, and look at the storms that are redeveloping. This really concerns me, what we've got going on to our west, because they're scattered. And you would think they would fizzle out as they move our way because this complex of storms is so intense that it would have taken a lot of the energy. I haven't had time to look at the energy in the atmosphere right now, but what concerns me is we have these little pockets of rotation with these storms. So these are what we call supercells that are trying to develop. And if they do continue to develop, we may see yet another round of severe weather. That would be round number 3. And hopefully that would be the end of it. But we continue to track more storms that are developing. But right now, strong line of thunderstorms that is producing damaging wind moving through southern Illinois and western Kentucky, moving through the Paducah area as we speak. Winds could be gusting up to 60 to 70 miles per hour. We've had lots of reports of damage with this line of storms as it moved through southeast Missouri. That's why we've kind of treated this like a tornado warning because of how much damage we were expecting. We've seen lots of power transformers blown, trees blown over, power lines snapped, and now we're getting reports of structural damage as well. Brian, do you have any other reports from the Weather Service or any other emergency managers' reports of damage?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we do. Just a few moments ago at the top of the 6 o'clock hour, we had a trained spotter that reported an estimated wind gust between 70 to 80 miles an hour. That did extensive tree damage in Olin, Illinois. That's in Pulaski County. Here's where we are. That was Pulaski County, still under the severe thunderstorm warning. That was at the top of the hour. I have the wider view on here because we're talking about the continued threat of severe thunderstorms now moving across central Missouri. Now, the latest computer models, the high-resolution computer models, do merge these cells into a line and eventually draw drops at all to the south. So while these intense thunderstorms are developing and moving eastward, we think there's going to be a southward motion to these thunderstorms very soon. So they're considering another watch to come out for parts of northern Arkansas very soon. A watch is going to come down for northern Arkansas because this line, the most severe thunderstorms are going to roll to the south, while the rain behind it is going to be pushed downstream right into the heartland. And unfortunately, we do not need any more rainfall. So now that we've talked about that, let me bring it in for the closer view. Again, just at the top of the hour, a trained weather spotter reported up to 80-mile-an-hour wind gust in Olin, Illinois. That's in Pulaski County. You can see now that thunderstorm is well to your east. Let me put on the latest scan so we can get a little bit more of somewhat of a neater picture here. Again, here's Pulaski County, here's Massac County, here's Olin. These thunderstorms moved through and produced 70 to 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts and did extensive tree damage and a 64-mile-an-hour wind gust near Muhlenberg, Kentucky. Wow. So we're dealing with very strong wind as it moves through Massac County, McCracken County, all the way up to Pope and Hardin County. So we do have a history of widespread damage with these thunderstorms that are now rolling through parts of southeastern Illinois and western Kentucky and parts of southeast Missouri. This particular severe thunderstorm warning that does include East Prairie, Sikeston, and just east of Dexter, southeastern Stoddard County. This severe thunderstorm warning extends until 6:45. Now, this severe thunderstorm warning, this gigantic area of a severe thunderstorm warning stretching from Murray to Fairfield all the way up to, let's say, Rosiclare, includes all this area until 7:15. So we still have another hour left on these severe thunderstorm warnings. They're going to continue to push off to the east at 65 miles an hour. We've had a long history as this thunderstorm has marched through southeast Missouri and southern Illinois. We've had a long history of wind damage as far as trees, power lines down. Just to pass along the latest numbers for you, we have 18,000 power outages in southeast Missouri. 18,000 power outages in southeast Missouri, 4,000 power outages in southern Illinois as this powerful line of thunderstorms rolled eastward. So again, a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Johnson and Pope County in southern Illinois, Massac County in southern Illinois, from Crittenden, Livingston County all the way down to Graves, Marshall, and Callaway County until 7:15. This severe thunderstorm warning that includes Stoddard, Mississippi County, Scott County, and Fulton and Hickman County. This severe thunderstorm warning continues until 6:45, and you'll also notice these tiny little lines. That is a flash flood polygon. That is a flash flood warning that will extend into the next couple of hours because we're seeing one thunderstorm develop and move downstream. Another thunderstorm develops and moves downstream. So a training effect. If these thunderstorms were on train tracks, there's just one car after another is what we're looking at here. Intense rainfall amounts are expected in northern New Madrid and Scott County, New Madrid County, as well as, let's say, Mississippi County, Missouri, stretching on into parts of western Kentucky. Again, extensive rainfall amounts are expected with these thunderstorms that are now moving to the east at 65 miles an hour. If you're watching in Mayfield, all the way up to Rosiclare, Murray, Mayfield, again, severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 7:15. We're going to see wind gusts approaching 60 to 80 miles an hour that will do extensive tree damage. It could cause some power outages, and with the hail that accompanies some of these thunderstorms, it could do some damage as far as windows, shingles, and also, again, the wind taking down the power lines. That's the big thing we have right now. Over 25,000 reports, actually, 25,000 reports of power outages in the heartland. I know we have a lot of pictures to pass along. Do we have some of those? Can we easily switch to the switch to the pictures, rather? A lot of tree damage. There's a tree that was snapped right near the base. We have, looks like a dog kennel that was tossed over, another tree limb, a massive tree limb that was taken down. Looks like some scary clouds there off to the south and west. You can see what would be a gust front. I believe this is another picture of the movie theater that the wind took down. Ooh, wow, yeah. That is awful. That is a tree down on a car there on a major highway. It appears to be a carport that has been blown down. Tree has fallen on that carport there. More trees and tree limbs down. And this is actually was taken in St. Genevieve, the St. Genevieve area, which may just be the outflow, which may just be the shelf cloud, but it's so hazy right there toward the very bottom. We can't tell if that is actually a funnel cloud or if that's just the effect that the picture has, and that's actually just your leading edge of your shelf cloud. So either way, we've got a lot of reports of wind damage. We have 60 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts on the leading edge of these thunderstorms that are now moving into southeastern Illinois and western Kentucky. Extensive power outages now up to, well, over 25,000. We are now at 4,800 power outages in southern Illinois, 19,925 power outages in southeast Missouri. All this coming in just from Ameren. Just from Ameren, we have 25,000 power outages. So this is the big story. Beware, Mayfield, Marshall, Callaway County, from Murray up to Fair Dealing. We're Princeton all the way up to Pope and Hardin County. A severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 7:15 this evening. Grant.
Yeah, we are seeing a tremendous amount, and now the gust front has passed the radar, and you can see that here. Very, very strong gusty winds that are moving across parts of southern Illinois and moving across McCracken County. Just intense winds. This is what's caused all the issues that we have seen today, and this is going to continue as we head throughout the evening hours. That's a little better sign. I hope we see more of those numbers than the 80 and 100 mile per hour numbers that we were seeing earlier. But we are still tracking a very intense line of thunderstorms moving into parts of Pope County, Livingston County, down towards Marshall County in western Kentucky. Let's kind of pan down to where the strongest part of the storm is. This is really going to intensify right here, I think. This area right here, Mayfield, Kentucky, Murray, Kentucky, over towards Fair Dealing. Very high likelihood of strong gusty winds moving into your area. And you could see the gust front is trailing off. So let's take a look at this storm in particular, because I'm just a little concerned that maybe there's some hail with it as well. The overall trend, at least, and I hope this trend continues, my friends, this line of storms appears to be a little weaker right now. But with that said, a lot of that could have to do with the fact that it is pouring rain right over the Paducah radar site, and so that's going to cause the reflectivity to suffer just a bit. The type of information we get will be a little less than what you would expect when there's extremely